Hi, welcome once again to the Style Made Simple by Dressens channel, your hangout for equipping yourselves with easy tutorials that will show you how to sew for yourselves. It is also a channel for fashion tidbits and lifestyle tidbits. We're going to do a quick one in this video, and it will be about beginner-friendly tools and equipment. As a beginner, you don't really need very sophisticated gadgets. You just need basic tools and equipment. So we're going to be looking at these basic tools and equipment that a beginner would need for a dressmaking course. So we have the tools segmented. We have the cutting tools, we have the marking tools, and then we have the pressing tools. Also the measuring tools, yeah. So we're going to be starting with the basic one. That's the tape measure. I have my tape measure around my neck, and the tape measure usually comes in inches on one side and then centimeters on the other side. For the purposes of this assignment, we're going to be working with inches. So with the cutting tools, we have cutting shears. At least you should have 2 pairs of scissors. Your cutting shears should be solely used for fabric and nothing else, and it should be a bit weighty. Have one handle big enough to accommodate all the 4 fingers, and then the other one for the thumb, and then you have a rounded edge for one tip of the scissors, and then a sharper or pointed edge for the other tip of the scissors. It should be able to cut right through to the very tip. Now you can use this for odd things like cutting up scraps of threads and paper and the likes. So the emphasis is that your cutting shears should solely be used for fabric and nothing else. And then we have what we call the seam ripper. The seam ripper is used for unpicking stitches. Definitely in the course of your sewing projects, you might make some mistakes and you'd want to unpick them. So if you have your seam ripper, it's quite handy and easy to use. The blade of the seam ripper is at the end here, at the tip, right at the bottom here. So it is the blade that cuts the thread. So you push the tip of the seam ripper through the stitches like this at specific intervals. Push the seam ripper through so that it cuts the threads at intervals, maybe ½ inch intervals. You put the seam ripper through at intervals. I'm done with the first line. I'm picking the second line. So you just push through. If it's sharp enough, you don't have to exert too much energy. You just push it through, and then the ripper would cut through the threads. When you are done, you just turn it to the wrong side and then pull the threads. So it's very easy. You just pull the threads, and then now you can take off the bits and pieces of thread. So unpicking should not be too much of a big deal. Good dressmaking practices does not allow you to use a blade or any sharp object to unpick your assignments so as not to mistakenly cut through. So we are done with the scissors, we are done with the seam ripper. Of course, we have our tailor's chalk. It comes in various colors for marking, especially when we are applying our measurements on our fabric. So you would always want to use a contrast color. I chose the color white because I wanted to imprint it on this brown fabric. Usually you can also use a shade that is closer to the brown. Maybe sometimes when you use a totally contrast color, it may show too much, so you could use a color that is slightly close. For instance, if you're working with a red fabric, you could use a pink tailor's chalk, which is a bit close to the red. Now we have what we call a pin cushion. In the process of work, you would need a few pins every now and then to pin, so you can find a little piece of foam, cover it with some fabric, stitch a short length of elastic at one end to the other, and then you attach it on your wrist like a wristwatch. And when you're working, you stick your pin, so you have easy access to the pins when you're working. You just take your pin and pin up, and when you're done, you stick it back. So this is a pin cushion. And then we have first of all, a yardstick or meter stick to measure long distances from point A to point B. You want a straight line, you mark it, and then you mark point A, point B, and then you connect with a straight. Of course, this is easy and basic. And then you have the short ruler to connect short distances. Now these two come in handy when we are working with curves. In the process of applying measurements, you might have to draft areas like an armhole or the inner leg of trousers. So this comes in handy to use in drafting those. Now this is a little demonstration on how to use the curves. So assuming I needed to create a neckline and an armhole, at this point here I would position the curve in such a way to give me a round or a slightly shaped. So this will be my neckline. I don't have to strain myself. And then this would be my shoulder. And then if I needed an armhole, I just place it like this and then mark out my armhole. So this would be my neckline, this would be my shoulder line, and this would be my neck and my armhole. So with the French curves, it makes it easy for you to work around curved areas, like I said. So when we start our projects proper on sewing, would be able to use it properly. And then you can connect the side seam with a straight line. So that's it for our sets of rulers, French curves, and the likes. Okay, so last but not the least, you need a good pressing iron, preferably a steam iron. And then you need your pressing area. You could use your regular ironing board, or you could find a large spacious table and then pad it up with some press cloth for your pressing. So these are the basic tools. Like I said, you don't need anything extraordinary. These are the little things you can use to start up your sewing projects at home. Hi, welcome back to the word segment. And our word for today is the word couture. It's a French word. I hope I got the pronunciation right. Couture, spelled C-O-U-T-U-R-E. And it means the making up and or selling custom-made, ready-to-wear outfits. Simple. That's what it means in a very simplified form. I hope this has been helpful. Thank you for staying through to the end of the video, and if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, please do so now by pressing the subscription button and also pressing the notification button so you get alerted when new videos are uploaded. Until the next video, God bless and bye.